Hey, it's Roll and Write Revolution. We're back with a new Roll and Write. This is our Reel and Write. This game is a little bit fishy, but I hope you guys will stick around and enjoy the game so you can check it out. So this is a game about fishing, right? Makes more sense that way. So the way the game works, you're going to have your player sheet. That's this one here. Then you have a pond sheet, right, which is this one here. When playing with 4, 5, and 6 players, you get to use both sides of the pond. When playing with 1, 2, and 3 players, you're only going to use one side of the pond. So you'll get your 1 through 9 only. So 1 through 9 is going to be your cast value. That's this here. Depth, down to 6. And then lure is going to help you improve your odds of getting your dice up to a 6. So that's kind of a good thing. We like that. So the way the game works, you have somebody who's rolling the dice as the dice roller for the round for everybody. And they are going to roll the dice and then mark in that value for the first fish, right? There's 16 of them. Or, for those of you who want a little bit more concise range of numbers, I have a 9-card deck that you guys are going to receive as part of this, as a file with this. So it's a 10 through 18. You can print out 2 copies and use that way. Just shuffle them up, eventually deal out 16. Or you can just use 8 at a time, discard 1, and then the next 8, they're going to give you your point values for the first set of rounds. And then you put this one back in, shuffle them back up, again, discard 1, and then that'll give you your next set. There you go. So your next set of values for the second set of rounds, right? So 2 ways to play. If you don't have extra paper or sleeves or whatever, you guys will have card backs. Then you don't have to do that. So those are optional. So you can, of course, use dice. If your dice roll is 6 or under, you can re-roll it as many times as you need to get it above 6. Just because you want to be able to use as much of your dice value as possible. So in this case, we have 14. So we'll go ahead and mark that over here in the first space, 14. Using red because it's a little more high vis. Don't worry about that green die for a moment. So on your turn, you can spend 14 points, divide it up to 6 points, or down to 1 point, as you choose, either to upgrade your abilities, your skills, or you can fish. Right? So you have 2 options you can do on your turn. You can actually do both options. So you do a round where everybody says, hey, my first option is I'm going to fish. Okay, cool. So then they'll assign their dice up to 14. But you have to remember, if you want to fish and upgrade, you have to keep some points back. So there's a little push-pull there where if you use all 14 to fish, which, you could cast, say, you could do that. There you go. We'll cast to 6 at a depth of 5, like that. And then when we go ahead and roll to see if we caught anything, we'll be able to add 3 to that roll. So the way that would work, so we've casted to 6, right? 6. Our depth is 5, right? And now we have to roll. If we roll a 6, we get to mark. So we're on 6 and 5. So we're trying to catch this big old boy right here. So we got a 5. So on a 5, we would actually get to circle the lower number. So any number 2 through 5, you get to circle the lower number. If you can get your number above 6, you'd get to circle the bigger number. So in this case, I could circle 11. So now I've got 11 points going into the end of the game. That's pretty good. The other thing you can do on your turn, so we talked about those things. So if we didn't spend all of it to fish, like we just did with our 14, we could distribute up to 6 across our abilities, right? And so if I put 6 in here and cast, right, I would mark 6 wedges of the pie, right, so on and so forth. So on another turn, if I come back later and I'm like, oh man, I need to finish up this pie, I can, put another number there and then kind of continue on as such. Each time I finish up one of these pies, I get to mark a dot, and each dot that's marked allows me to increase my cast it allows me to increase my depth, allows me to increase my lure without without putting extra points. So like I could do that, and now I could cast up to range 7. It's how you would get up to 9 basically with casting, to get you way out here to these big boys, which are worth kind of a lot of points if we're being honest. So that's kind of how that piece works. You run through 16 rounds, either cards or dice. The other die here is to show you guys an example. So let's say our opponent did 6 and 5, right? They beat us to it. So even though I had my 6 and my 5 over here, you know, thinking, oh man, I really wanted to get there. So I can, knowing that I can't go to the same location as another dice, I could then change these values around. I could say, you know what, I'm going to save one of these points for later in the game. I'm going to or no, I'm sorry. You have to use a different cast range. You can't use 6. So I could use this 6. We'll say we'll make it a 5. So we'll go to 5 and 5. And that's allowed because I'm in a different cast range. If I was playing with more players, then I could cast out here to 6, right? So, but it's a way for you to change. Or I could go to 6. We can do that. There you go. Deeper depth. Spend all the points. Upgrades? Not this time. So that kind of gives you guys a feel for what that is. At the end of the game, you're going to tally up your stars. You notice in 1, when you roll, anything above 1 is just going to get you the first star. They're not really worth very much, so it's not very costly to get there. Whereas out here, these guys, these big boys are worth quite a lot more. So you total up your stars from all your fish. You get 5 stars per upgrade. So that's each one of these dots is considered an upgrade, right? You get 5 points per. The most fish at each depth. So if, you know, as I'm cruising along here at the end of the game, let's say I've marked, you know, 3 guys here on this one, and my opponent's only marked 2. Well, now I'm going to get 1 point for each fish at that depth, right? And then you can get points for each fish at each cast too. So if you have the most, not tied for the most, just the most, then you get to score 1 point per. And then at the end of that, all that, you tally up your total score. Whoever has the most stars at the end is the fishing champion for our beautiful lake roll and write revolution here. The fish battle, as it were, in our Reel and Write. All right, so thank you guys for checking out Reel and Write. I hope you guys will jump on the Kickstarter, do the thing. Look to hear from you guys as far as comments, whatever you want to do. Again, welcome to use the cards. You're welcome to use the dice. But have fun. Let's fish.